OpenClaw v2026.4.14 just dropped with 44 contributors, the largest contributor count of any April release. GPT-5.4-pro gets forward compatibility, Telegram forum topics get human-readable names, and 58 bug fixes land across model providers, platform integrations, memory, security, and browser networking. This is a stability release at scale. This release was published by Vincent Koch on April 14, 2026, signed by Peter Steinberger, with contributions from 44 developers, the highest contributor count for any single April release. The release description calls it a broad quality release focused on model provider improvements, with explicit turn handling for the GPT-5 family and channel provider issue resolution, plus overall performance improvements through core code base refactoring. The feature count is deliberately small, just 2 new features, because the engineering focus went entirely into fixing 58 bugs across every layer of the system. When you see a release with 2 features and 58 fixes from 44 contributors, that's a conscious decision to prioritize stability and reliability over new functionality. The 2 features that did ship are GPT-5.4-pro and Codex forward compatibility, ensuring OpenClaw is ready for OpenAI's latest model tier before it becomes widely available, and a Telegram forum topic enhancement that surfaces human-readable topic names in agent context and plugin metadata via learned service messages. The community responded with 60 emoji reactions across 47 people, 32 thumbs up, 10 celebrations, 7 rockets, 6 hearts, and 5 eyes. Strong validation that users appreciate stability-focused releases as much as feature drops. The GPT 5.4 Pro feature adds forward compatibility for OpenAI's latest model tier. Codex pricing, rate limits, and catalog visibility are all pre-configured so that when GPT 5.4 Pro becomes available through the OpenAI API, OpenClaw handles it natively without requiring another update. This includes the legacy alias canonicalization for OpenAI Codex locks GPT 5.4 Codex, which ensures that older configuration references resolve correctly to the new model identifiers. GPT 5.4 reasoning support has been expanded to the X-high level, unlocking the deepest reasoning tier for complex multi-step tasks, where the model needs extended thinking time. The Codex provider catalog validation now properly includes the API key parameter, which was causing validation failures for some users trying to connect through Codex-specific endpoints. And OpenAI-compatible verification probes have been reduced to 16 tokens, down from whatever the previous default was, to work reliably with stricter endpoint configurations that reject larger probe requests. For self-hosted model users, the Llama integration gets 3 important fixes. Timeout configuration is now properly forwarded to stream timeout tuning. The embedding adapter is restored with endpoint-aware cache keys and streaming usage tracking via stream options. Include usage now works correctly. These Llama improvements mean that local model users get more reliable connections, accurate token counting, and working embeddings. All things that were intermittently failing in previous releases. Let's look at the release page. The sheer length of the changelog tells the story. 58 individual bug fixes organized across model and provider, platform integration, agent and tool, session and delivery, memory and context, scheduling and maintenance, configuration and utility, UI and security, and browser and network categories. The 44 contributor count continues the upward trend. v2026.4.12 had 35, v2026.4.11 had 15, and now 44. This is community-driven open-source development operating at a pace that rivals commercial products. The model and provider category alone accounts for 11 bug fixes, the largest single category. Image and PDF tool provider references are now properly normalized before registry lookup, which was causing failures when tools referenced providers using non-canonical names. Google image generation gets a fix for trailing OpenAI suffix handling, a subtle but breaking issue where the API URL was being incorrectly constructed. AAC audio file names are now remapped to .m4a for OpenAI-compatible uploads, fixing a format mismatch that was causing audio processing to fail silently on certain providers. The embedding provider prefix preservation during normalization prevents a bug where custom provider prefixes were being stripped during the normalization step, causing embeddings to route to the wrong endpoint. And the low context model suggestion has been corrected for self-hosted deployments, where the system was recommending models that weren't actually available on the local instance. Each of these fixes individually is small, but collectively they represent a significant improvement in model provider reliability. Fewer silent failures, fewer misrouted requests, and fewer configuration edge cases that trip up new users. Platform integration fixes span 7 different messaging platforms: Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, Slack, Microsoft Teams, Fieshu, and Blue Bubbles. Telegram gets the most attention with 3 fixes: media download proxy trust restored after a DNS pinning regression that broke media handling, forum topic persistence in session sidecar ensuring topic context survives session restarts, and the new feature surfacing human-readable topic names. WhatsApp Bailey's media encryption right, flushing fixes an issue where media attachments were occasionally being sent with incomplete encryption, causing garbled images or failed deliveries on the recipient side. Discord gets native status command response handling, which was returning malformed responses. Slack interactive event allow list enforcement now works correctly across channel blocks and modals. Previously, certain interactive components could bypass the allow list. Microsoft Teams gets SSO sign-in allow list enforcement, ensuring that only configured identity providers can authenticate through the Teams integration. Fieshu gets allow list canonicalization and ID namespace separation, fixing conflicts between user IDs and group IDs that were causing message routing errors. And Blue Bubbles, the iMessage bridge, gets a private API server info cache, lazy refresh for threading and effects, so iMessage-specific features like thread replies and rich effects work more reliably. 7 platforms, each getting targeted fixes that improve daily reliability for users on those channels. The memory system gets 6 targeted fixes. The most significant is active memory being moved to the untrusted prompt prefix path instead of system injection. This is a security hardening measure that prevents memory content from being treated as system-level instructions, reducing the attack surface for prompt injection through stored memories. The Memory Palace Gateway method calls are now properly prevented when the plugin is disabled, eliminating wasted compute on inactive features. Legacy lowercase memory.md secondary root collection is removed, cleaning up a compatibility shim that was causing duplicate memory entries. QMD phantom collection search is eliminated. Phantom collections were ghost entries in the memory index that pointed to deleted or moved content, causing search results to include non-existent items. Session memory hook workspace scoping is fixed for reset snapshots, and dreaming cron event queue requirements are enforced before heartbeat sweeps, preventing dreaming cycles from triggering prematurely. On the security side, the control UI switches from mark.js to markdown it for RDOS prevention, regular expression, denial of service. Mark.js had patterns that could be exploited with crafted markdown input to cause the parser to hang, potentially freezing the control interface. Gateway tool security flag enforcement now properly prevents dangerous configuration edits through the tool interface, and config snapshot redaction is extended to cover source, config and runtime, config aliases that were previously exposed in debug output. The browser and network category addresses SSRF policy enforcement, server-side request forgery, which is critical for any system that makes HTTP requests on behalf of users. Browser SSRF policy, hostname navigation, is restored while preserving strict mode, meaning the browser can navigate to legitimate URLs without the SSRF protection accidentally blocking valid requests. Local Chrome CDP readiness bypass under strict SSRF defaults ensures that the built-in Chrome automation still works when SSRF policies are set to their most restrictive level. Manual CDP profile loopback control plane reuse prevents connection leaks when reusing Chrome profiles. Browser security enforcement is tightened on snapshot, screenshot, and tab roots, all of which could previously be accessed without proper authorization checks. The proxy environment variable HTTP helper now auto-upgrades to HTTPS with proper no-proxy bypass checks, fixing connectivity in enterprise environments that route through HTTP proxies. Session and delivery fixes ensure that the outbound delivery queue persists. Session context across restarts, auto-reply queue grouping correctly splits by authorization context, and heartbeat routing metadata is preserved through the delivery pipeline. The voice call WebSocket upgrade now properly reserves capacity for concurrent handshakes, preventing connection failures during peak usage. And the SYND policy deny blocking is suppressed for observer-style setups, where monitoring agents need to see messages without being able to send them. Standard update, OpenClaw update, and check your version. No breaking changes. This is a clean stability upgrade with 0 new configuration requirements. If you're using GPT 5.4 Pro through the OpenAI API, the model is now recognized natively, no manual catalog entries needed. If you're running Llama locally, the timeout and embedding fixes take effect immediately after the update. The platform integration fixes for Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, Slack, Teams, Vishu, and Blue Bubbles all apply automatically. The Markdown parser swap from mark.es to Markdown it in the control UI happens transparently. The interface looks and behaves the same. It's just no longer vulnerable to DDoS attacks. With 58 fixes touching nearly every subsystem, this is a recommended update for all OpenClaw deployments, regardless of which features you use. The improvements are broad enough that everyone benefits. That's OpenClaw v2026.4.14, GPT 5.4-pro forward compatibility, Telegram forum topics, and 58 bug fixes from 44 contributors across every layer of the system. The 8th major April release with the largest contributor count yet. Full release notes in the description. Subscribe to Prism Labs for every OpenClaw release as it drops.